Captain Jericho Steele, United States Navy. It had been so long since Jericho had been to a civilian party, he was still trying to convince himself his greeting didn't make him sound like a robot. He arrived at the sprawling estate and its circular driveway at exactly 2:30 p.m., the same time written on his invitation. A white-gloved attendant who looked just barely old enough to have a license offered to park his car for him.
Getabook.today presents Her Captain, Book 12 in the First Kiss romance series by Lochlann Black. Copyright 2016.
As he strode towards the front door, in what at least appeared to be a group of people dedicated to receiving guests, he performed one more quick check of his Class A uniform. He had debated excusing himself from the party altogether when it became clear there would be no way to stop off and retrieve a set of appropriately formal civilian clothes. But Max would have been really disappointed. It wasn't often Jericho got enough time off to see much of anyone, but things had been a little better lately, and to be honest, he wanted to catch up with his friends from school. It had been a while since he had spare time to socialize. Most people he had encountered in the last 3 years had been enemies. At the same time, he knew trying to fit in at a party wearing the blues was like trying to blend in at a formal dinner wearing a football helmet. Subjects of discussion always drifted back to, "What are all those ribbons?" from the women, and, "So, what rank are you, soldier?" from the men trying to sound like they knew something about the military. In reality, the closest any of them would ever get to a live round going off was the War Channel on cable. Then again, that's the way it was supposed to be. Jericho got paid to keep live rounds from going off around attractive young women and the men trying to impress them at expensive parties. Navy officers had developed a wide variety of ways to gently deflect such talk when around civilians. It was generally considered tacky to discuss the details of campaign ribbons, decorations for valor, rank, and precedence, and why Jericho's uniform was often mistaken for an airline pilot's around people who weren't familiar with either. Being one of the youngest to reach the rank of captain in the Navy's history also came with its share of difficulties. But most of those were confined to bases and the Pentagon, where Captain Steele often found he outranked men twice his age. The fact he looked like a slender Marine fresh out of boot didn't help. His darker skin and severe grooming served him well in outfits where the goals were clear and dangerous. He had so far seen no reason to change his habits in the real world.